and the ability to learn very quickly, not only when hunting, but also when raising young. Red-shouldered hawks specifically have been documented seeking out black cherry tree stems and branches to build their nest each year. Because through trial and error, through learning correlation, these pairs learn that black cherry trees help reduce parasites in the nest and on their young. Because there is a chemical component in the bark of that black cherry tree that actually works as a natural insecticide. It deters invertebrates like pests such as mites away from the nest and therefore for the young. Those red-shouldered hawks that utilize black cherry trees in their nesting substrate have greater success in reproduction and youngster health. So that's a great example of intelligence when it comes to nesting. But I also want to talk about intelligence when it comes to hunting again. Because when you look at a red-shouldered hawk, you are looking at what we call a snake specialist. All right? Now, I love snakes. I think snakes are horribly misunderstood creatures, okay? They also are so vital to the health of ecosystems around the world. Fun fact, where snake populations decline or plummet, tick-borne illnesses in humans increases exponentially, okay? So they're incredibly important. However, like most things, they need population control too. Red-shouldered hawks are more than happy to provide that. They will eat both venomous snakes and non-venomous snakes. Now, having said that, nobody is throwing out little reptile field guides into the wild, okay? Nobody is teaching these birds the difference between venomous and non-venomous snakes. So they hunt them in the same way to stay safe as much as possible when taking on a riskier prey item like that. So what you might think, with that hooked curved beak, with those powerful feet and those sharp talons, well, if you see a snake on the ground, fly down and grab it, right? Problem solved. That is not what they do, though. There's a lot of room for error in that approach. So what they will do instead, they will land on the ground a few feet away from the snake. They will put those beautiful black and white wings up above their head and kind of start dancing around it. All right? What you might see them do next is slap the poor has successfully envenomated herself, so they remove the head to avoid any risk that could be contained within. Now, having said that, that is unfortunate. There's a lot of good stuff up in the head of that